Welcome once again, folks, to another session of Let's Chat with me, Meor Addelan. It is very difficult for you to actually juggle a lot of things when you want all of those things to be as great as they can be. Whether you're juggling to be a mother and having to work at the same time, or juggling to have work but also have another kind of work, it is definitely not an easy thing to do, let alone having to juggle being a student as well as contributing to your country in regards of sports. Today, in our topic today, we're going to be having a chat with someone who had to do that, or should I say, still doing that. How is she able to actually juggle between school as well as being a gold medal winner? And with that, I do want to introduce to you a very good friend of mine who's going to be talking to us about it. Ladies and gents, allow me to introduce to you Miss Stephanie Gunn. Hey, Steph, how are you?
Hi everyone, hi Meor, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. Now, let's straight go to the topic at hand, what we're going to be talking about today, which is sports and school, which comes first. But before we touch on the topic, can you just share with our viewers a bit of your history of what you're doing right now in regards to studies, and how did you get into the sport in the basic term possible?
I'm currently studying at Help University, pursuing my degree, bachelor in marketing communications. I'm from artistic swimming. Yeah, still doing that. But personally on my own. Yeah.
Yeah, because as you mentioned, artistic swimming or synchronous swimming, as you were to call it before, it is actually a discipline where it involves a lot of discipline, a lot of dedication, as any other sport will do. Now, I just want to ask you, Steph, because when you started, representing your country in the artistic swimming category, it has been a challenge for you, isn't it? To give your 100% in the pool, doing your routine, understanding the choreography and the moves and whatnot, and also having to balance that with your studies. Can you share with us a bit of your experience having to do so?
Yeah. For me, it's not really a very hard task because I've been gone through that since I was young. I was 7 years old, and then I have to go to school and train at the same time. But for a certain period of time, if I was in the competition mode, then I will maybe put my study aside for a little bit. But when I'm in a chill mode, yeah, so I will just keep up with my studies and all. Yeah. But yeah, so far I'm doing quite. I can say that I'm doing quite well, juggling between both of my sports and studies.
Now, because as you mentioned, you started as early as you were 7 years old, exposing yourself to the sport, having to give your dedication and your hard work into the sport, but also not able to actually experience a proper childhood as one might have, I think. I mean, how was that experience to you? I mean, like any other child out there, they would be going out having fun, playing sports, hanging out with friends, having sleepovers and everything. But apart from that, you have another thing, which is training to represent your state, represent the nation, and to the level that you are in right now. How has that molded you, from you were a child right up to you like you are now?
I wouldn't say it's a very sad but interesting when it goes through the whole process, because when I see other kids like they have fun after school, but I have to like rush to training. But I'm glad that I chose this path because I love this sport and my passion in it. So like I enjoy doing this, and also lucky for me, I'm able to like represent the country after all of the hard work. Yeah.
Coming back to the topic, as we're talking about juggling between school and sports, maybe you can also share with us, are you those types where, when you had to go for practice, you still had to bring your homework, you have a special tutor to teach you of certain things, or how was your life, while you were, brought up, studying, learning, as well as competing as well?
Mm, so far throughout the whole journey, I don't really bring any books to the training. I mean, some of my friends, like my teammates, they actually bring the books to the pool, and while before training started, they were like opening up the book and reread. But for me, I don't really do that because when I go to training, I just want to focus on training, and after the training, I'll just go back and study on my own. Like I don't really have a private tutor or something, yeah. But I use more time compared to others, I'll say, to like sleep less and to study, and yeah.
But doing that as a child, as a child, as a teenager, you must felt that this is so overwhelming. This is too much for you to handle. Has it come to a point that any point in time you just told yourself you've had enough, you don't want to do this anymore, you're just tired, you just want to forget about this? Have that ever
Uh,
crossed your mind?
yeah, at some point I was so very sad, and because training is too tough for me, and uh, even though if we're in the state team, like we train like we're crazy, and at some point I thought of like just stop it, and but when it came to my mind, I still love these sports and I still want to continue do it. Like I say, I enjoy doing that, so eventually I'll just continue, keep on doing and doing and doing, not stopping. Yeah.
What was your factor? What was the motivation behind that decision making rather than saying that I just want to leave everything out, but you wanted to pursue this, you wanted to get better? What was your motivation?
When I first stepped on the podium, like my first medal, and you feel the glorious moment, and you want more and more and more, and yeah, that's why I keep on continuing and like pursuing more. Like yeah, you know.
So it is the taste of victory that brings you even further, the hungriness of it that keeps you wanting more and more, isn't it?
Yes.
All right, interesting. Very much, very, very interesting indeed. Now, I want to ask your opinion on something because, again, you start being an athlete when you were as young as 7 years old. There are stories out there, there are cases out there where a lot of youngsters, especially, they don't really want to go to school anymore because they know that they're good at doing something, may it be swimming or archery or badminton or whatever kind of sport there is. They think that they can reach the highest of the highest in their respective sports, but they don't want to study anymore because to them they think that studying is just a waste of time. They just want to concentrate on the sport that they love. What is your comment to that?
To me personally, I don't agree that you can just go sports all the way, because first thing, we might get injured, and you don't know what will happen at tomorrow's training, and like um, how do I say it? Like you are not sure of your future in your sports. Like you cannot make sure that you win every competitions, and you might be the next maybe Dato Lee Chong Wei or something. Yeah. But study is a very different thing from sports. I'll say, yeah, because education wise, different aspect of education, because sports brings the best out of you, mentally, physically. But education, it educates you to become like you add more knowledge on a different circle of people, like different circle of people. Because sport is just sport, but in education, like I study at uni, the people that I met is like so totally different from sports. Yeah.
Was that something that your parents told you when you were brought up, or were your parents more laid back kind of people when they say that okay, you can just study or you can just go sports, you don't have to have both? Were your parents advocating that you have both studies as well as being great in sports as well?
Yeah, for me, my parents would ask me to go both way. They don't want me to just involve in sports, and like my mom wants me to get a degree. Yeah, but I mean, I myself, I wanted to get a degree also. Yeah.
Okay. Spoken like a true veteran, actually, Steph, when you say that, because again, at a very young age, again, you are still very young, you are still in college, but you already have that feeling, that responsibility that you think would be better for you in the long run. Because again, a life of a sportsman is not that long, isn't it? I mean, like only until a certain point that you would have this career, and then after that, it's what you have in your head, and that's it, isn't it? Okay, interesting. Coming to that particular statement, I want to ask you also the cliche about people working in sports after they've retired from playing the sports themselves. We got coaches. We had people, in certain kind of sports, when they retire, they would jump in directly back into the sport in another capacity, maybe a coach, maybe an organizer, in any shape or form. Now, this kind of cliche, do you think that is something that it is right to do, or is it just a moment of opportunity that these people would actually get during their time?
I wouldn't say it's like too much of a cliche, but uh, I'm sure that whenever there's someone that wants to go back to their sports, they want to share their knowledge, their techniques. Like maybe for my sports, we have a lot of techniques, and we do want we do want to learn from someone experienced, like they gone through their life, not like somebody just study the syllabus and come to teach us. And of course, yeah, without coaches or like ex-members, they don't understand the whole process. They can't really uh, teach the athletes. Yeah, I would say. And yeah, their experience is what we want to learn. And yeah.
Do you see yourself in the next 5 years, for instance, being back into the sport should you're not able to actually, participate with the sport anymore? Would you think you'll come back and help the youngsters?
I'm not sure, but I see coaching the younger kids right now. Yeah, but depends on the certain time, I guess. Maybe like a big games, I will come back and like help out, like choreograph or something. Yeah, but for me personally, I don't think I will go back to become a full-time coach. Yeah.
All right, because for you, I mean, from what you have just said, so you believe you yourself, you think you have another type of future out there rather than just sticking into your sport. You want to contribute to society in other ways as well, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, interesting. And may you share with us, what are you studying right now?
I'm majoring in marketing communication.
Okay, and do you think that being an athlete, being a synchro swimmer, a gold medal winner nonetheless, do you think that could help you in preparing you for a professional world out there? Being a marketer, being a PR consultant or whatnot in the future. Do you think that would give you a certain kind of impact?
Yeah, it definitely will because like I say, my market how do I say it? If I go out to the professional world, I might have some connection with the sports world. Like there's tons of events, and maybe I can do like a sport events, organize the sports events, and it's like yeah, it'll be very interesting.
Yeah, you'll definitely be looking at whatever it is that you're good at before and using that connection moving
Yeah.
forward to make your life even better. Okay, lastly, I do want to ask you, Steph. Maybe you can share with us to all the aspiring athletes out there who wants to be you, who wants to get on the podium and hold that gold medal in their hand. What is it they need to do without having to jeopardize their studies? How can they live their lives moving forward? Steph, any thoughts?
Mm, I'm sure that training is a lot tougher than studying because studying you just need your hands and your mental, yeah. But training is like physically, like you have to every day morning you have to wake up like and then jump into the pool. Yeah, I'm sure that's a lot tougher than study. So if you can excel in your sports, I'm sure that you can do way greater things. Yeah. So
Hmm.
my advice to all of you is like just keep on continuing for both ways and um, not to like force yourself but try your best to excel in both ways and you have like a better future. Yeah.
Yeah, getting yourself prepared on both fronts actually would make you definitely a better human being moving forward. Stephanie Gunn, thank you so much for coming onto the show. Really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing with us your stories as well as your advice to the youngsters out there for them to be better moving forward. Thanks a lot, Steph. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that was Stephanie Gunn Huawei talking to us about how difficult it can be juggling between sports as well as school, but what it takes to be a great athlete. You have to give your dedication, you have to give your perseverance, patience, a lot of things, and also hard work that comes with it together. But also, do not forget that life is more than just being a sports person. you have to make sure that you get yourself geared up in all ways possible. That's all for now, folks, for Let's Chat this particular edition. Hope to see you again next time. You take care now. Goodbye.